I remember when I was in a relationship and I was so afraid of sharing what was really going on for me that I would bottle it all up. And well, that relationship has finished. And in 2013, I had been single for a couple of years after the end of this really long relationship. 9 years I've been in a relationship with somebody where I'd been bottling it all up and held everything back all the time. And in 2013, March 2013, I met my current partner, and I made this commitment to myself that I was never gonna hold back again. And okay, this is a really big commitment, and it wasn't very long into the relationship before we were having sex, and I said stop. I said stop. I don't feel, and I said something like, "Oh, I don't feel like you're there. I don't know where you've gone. I don't think you're really there." And we had this huge argument, and till like 3 a.m. we had this big argument, and we and so this is one of my first experiences of trying to be honest about what was really going on for me and not holding back. And since then, now I can look back and I can see, 5 years down the line, and wow, how different it is now. So I look back and I think, ouch, that was a really painful way to share, and no wonder he reacted like he did, because I really hurt him sharing like that. And now, knowing what I know and exploring this whole area in so much depth, that now recently, a few weeks ago, something similar arose during sex, and the experience was so different, because this time I realized that I had checked out in some way, and I realized what it was that I needed. So I asked him to look me in the eyes, and I said, slow down, look me in the eyes. And the whole experience was really beautiful and loving, and through that I came back into connection, we came back into connection, and yeah, it was beautiful. And I used to hold back a lot and still find this fear coming up, because I fear rejection a lot of the time. When I was in my previous relationship, I had a really big fear of confrontation, and I had a really big fear of rejection, and the fear felt so big that I decided that it was better to keep quiet. And there was a lot of reasons why I decided that. I thought to myself, well, I know what happens when I say things sometimes, and he gets really angry, so well, I don't want to have that, so I'm just going to keep quiet. And I really didn't want the rejection, and I was over the other side of the world from my home, and I was afraid of what would happen if he rejected me. I'd be like without a home, and so I had this other story, this other fear that would come up. So I held back. And bit by bit, I I was so held back that I wasn't actually connected anymore. I didn't have any desire for him anymore. I had so much bottled up. I'd kept so much out. And so when I met this new amazing man, I was ready for a relationship, and I really didn't want that to happen again. It was really painful to end a relationship, a long relationship. It was really painful. It took a lot of healing, and here I was in this new amazing possibility, and my fears arose again. So my fear of rejection, I didn't want to fuck it all up. My fear of hurting him. And so it took a lot of mistakes. It took a lot of not getting it right before I started to get it right. But I did make this commitment to myself that I'm no longer going to hold back. It wasn't worth it to me. It isn't worth it to me to be in a relationship with somebody where I'm holding back. What's the point? I'm not connected anyway. And I noticed that with my current partner, occasionally I have held back for like a day, and I can feel that I'm already checking out, numbing out, checking out, creating this separation between me and him. So the fear of, and then trying it out and having some reactions like pain and arguments and all this kind of thing. It's like, whoa, is this really worth it? But I'm here to tell you that it is. It is worth it. So 5 years down the line, and I feel connected and more in love and in the relationship than I've ever known in my whole life. And I know it's good because I feel aligned. It's like me, my thinking and my body are like aligned. Whereas before I had all this crazy thinking going on and my body was like, no, getting more, no. And there are ways of communicating. And yeah, we all have our own way, but what I have really discovered is if I can communicate from a place of feeling love, then it all works out much better. If I can communicate from a place of feeling pleasure, it all works out much better. So during sex, to have a way of giving positive feedback, like yes, or to the left, not to the left, no, stop, don't. Instead giving like a positive, loving encouragement. And then we're like caring for another, caring for each other, caring for self, not tolerating and getting disconnected, because if you're there tolerating a touch, then you're not really in the moment anyway. You're off thinking, I wish this isn't really feeling very good. I wish it could be a little bit different. So you're not really there anyway. So you're disconnected. So to be able to lovingly share, or to ask, look me in the eyes, give something really structured direction. Ask for what it is that you desire with love, and the fear of hurting another, the fear of rejection, the fear of confrontation, they can still come up, but the more you like practice, the easier it gets, and it just becomes natural to have more of what you desire. And in your relationship, often I notice with myself and with quite a few clients at the moment too, that they are changing, and as they are changing, the desires, what they want, is different. And that's what had come up for me with my partner. I'd done a whole load of new training, conscious sexuality practices, and I had changed, and I was so much more attuned than I had been, and so much more of a longing for something really connected that I just could no longer tolerate something else. And I just didn't really know how to call it in. So instead I was like calling it out instead of calling in that which I desire. So I would really suggest to you to take a moment now to get out a couple of pieces of paper and write down, what do you no longer wish to tolerate? What is just something that you no longer wish to tolerate in relationship, during sex? What is it that's like, I just don't want to have it like that anymore? And on another piece of paper, write down, what is it that you wish to move towards? What do you desire instead? And take just even taking 5 minutes to do this, and you can keep adding to it as you go through life and realize more and more, and as you change and what becomes more important. And I invite you to explore that and see if you can move through the fear and into creating a relationship that is enduring, that is full of love, that you feel more and more open, that you open again and again. So the other option of holding back is really just a story. It's an idea. You really don't know the outcome. It's just fear holding you back. Fear of some whole cascade of events that are not real. So if you can focus on what's really important to you and lovingly encourage and call that in, and start to share really what is going on for you, then it is like the infinite possibility of depth and connection and infinite pleasure. Your body responds when it feels safe, when it isn't holding anything back. You can't get around it. It's like the bullshit detector. Even if in your mind you really want to have some amazing sex, if you're holding something back, the vagina says no. There's just no way around it. So I hope there's something in there for you. I'm Nina. I'm a sex coach. I'm a visionary creatrix. I help you call into your life that which you really desire and give you all of the tools, the support, the skills to get there. May you grow and learn from my experiences and from all of those around you. So much love.